Yeah, I used to believe that. Don't so much anymore. But there is a way that I guess it could happen because if the Most High is saying, "Hey, I want you guys to talk a certain way. I want you guys to dress a certain way. I want you guys to eat a certain way, because I am coming to invade the planet. And when I come, I'm gonna pull all of those that are mine up out of this bitch.
Yeah.
How can I see? How can I see the difference between David and Antonio from space? The frequency. On some beam me up, Scotty, on some Star Trek shit.
Yep.
What's his frequency? Doot, 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 doot.
Yep.
All the
Hasn't.
people who don't eat pork, all the people who ain't in sources, all the people who kept the laws, all the people who kept the Sabbath, all the people who did this, take them. Everybody else. That's the only way I could figure that. Because it says you're going to hear trumpets. How you going to hear trumpets? Well, pork is going to fuck up your mind.
Uh-oh.
And you may not hear it right. Well, if you're, doing all these things that the Most High said not to do, if you believe in those laws or don't. I believe there are laws of separation for a reason. He wants to change our frequency to keep you at a certain way.
Hmm.
So I can see my sheep over there without having to actually come on. I can see you. I can see you. I got my radar. I can see you.
Yeah.
If in Revelation, it says the Most High is coming to invade the planet, that's what it's talking about. That's what I'm coming with leagues of angels in fire, and there's going to be blood everywhere. And the ones that get out are going to be lucky, but there are going to be some left. Even in the Quran, it talks about the Mahdi going to fight the Antichrist, and it says he's going to raise them up. They're going to fight the Antichrist. They're all going to die, and that's okay. At least they fought him.
Yeah. Yeah.
At least they fought him. So there's going to be a big war.
It's inevitable.
To that extent, yeah. I don't like talking about that stuff too much anymore, but yeah. If that's the way it is, then that's the way it is. So if there is a rapture, that's the way I see it. It's because of the Most High gave us a certain way to live, and that way is going to keep you at a certain frequency within a certain tuning.
Yeah.
So then I'm going to blow some horns, and literally, if you're on that tuning, you're going to be the only ones that can hear that.
You're going to hear it.
And if it hears you, it's a vibration. And what is this? This is vibration. This is vibration.
Your voices.
This is vibration.
Yeah.
Well, if I'm vibrating enough, we're going to disappear.
Yeah.
We're going to disappear. We're going to lift up or disappear.
It's wow. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this makes me think that you maybe believe that there is a such thing as a spiritual warfare.
Yes.
And so it
Won't
reminds,
talk about this, but go ahead.
and the reason why this reminds me, because I spoke with another poet, you may know him or not. His name, I believe, is Connie Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was raised in the church, and he told me that he doesn't believe in the spiritual warfare.
Okay.
And he thinks it's all like, people, just people. I
It
believe
is people.
Yeah, I believe it, and the reason why this kind of it's all coming to me because I personally believe there is a spiritual warfare, because if people want to say, I think they call it Hermetic law, which is, shall be below, shall be above.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's war happening here on this surface, then why wouldn't there be war in other surfaces and stuff like that? And, if I remember before I started getting deeper into like biblical stuff, I told a nun one day, I was like, the reason why I believe in the devil, or whatever people might claim as the devil, is that I believe in demonic possessions and exorcisms. And so I broke down. I was like, okay, so well, if someone's being demonically possessed and they need to be exorcised, then those demons need to work for someone. If those demons work for someone, they probably work for the devil. That's why I believe in the devil exists. I broke that down to her that way, some strange reason. And the only reason why I'm starting to believe that there may be a spiritual warfare is because if we want to go back to the book of Job and, eat wickedness in high places, blah, 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 both sides are always looking for team members, I guess you could say, people to represent their side, right? If it's a war, I need soldiers. I need soldiers that's going to fight for me. I need soldiers going to fight for me. And I'm not sure where I'm going with this, but it just made me think about spiritual warfare and because you mentioned the war, that's right, the war that's going to happen in bloodshed and stuff like that. But yeah, do you want to talk about that? Or
I do not.
Okay.
I
Gotcha.
don't.
He's like, I do, but I don't. He's like,
And
I do,
not
but I
in this
don't.
arena.
Got you.
I do, but I know not too much. I don't talk about this stuff too much anymore in general.
Got you.
Um, But your question directly would be,
Do you
you
believe in
see how
do you
I'm
believe?
still taking a bait?
Yes. Do you believe in spiritual warfare?
Yes, but also like Connie, it is people also like the Kabbalion and Hermetic law. It is um, mentalism and several degrees of mentalism and polarity and correspondence going on, and people messing with, you know, universal law, which is a spiritual aspect, which can be combated spiritually. Um, but um, people really tapping into this to the spirit to fight that kind of thing. I don't know if that's what we're on right now. The
Got you.
People aren't doing the same things that they did back in the day to combat those kind of things. So to say that they're combating it and they're not doing the things that they used to do to combat it, I think it's just folly. It's like, what are you? You're not doing anything. You're maybe bringing awareness,
If anything.
if anything.
Yes.
But I don't know if y'all are, learning the actual names, and because they have two names, if you're thinking the demons, they have two names, and learning their actual names and binding the strong man and pulling down. Yeah, I don't they're not doing that too much anymore. There's church services I've been to where they do that kind of stuff. um but even still, like, even if it were doing what it's supposed to be doing, that's like on a very local level. To me, I don't see it happening like on a national world levels or things like that. Do I believe in demonic possession? I don't know. I think people be wilding. I think people, you know, can be in the wrong spirit. I think people can be agitated by the right spirit. I think that um, there are dissonant frequencies and or demons or angels that are out there, and if they are, then their frequency is dissonant to us. So when they are around, our things stop to not work. Our prayers don't work. Our unity is not. There's a dissonance in
Hmm.
it.
Hmm.
So yes, you get that dissonance out by, like, when King Saul was being tormented, he asked David to come and play a harp. David played the harp over his body for the dissonance that was in his body. So he vibrated him with the harp over his body. Egyptian priests used to, I hear they had a temple as well, that they would have you lay down and they would set different tones over you, over frequencies over your body to bring stuff out of your blood or to heal you in different ways. So yeah, I think in that aspect, when you think about it like that, then yes, then dissonant frequencies exist, sure. Mm, and light, sure. And then that would mess with us. And then a way to talk about that is the spiritual aspect. But then fighting it from the spiritual aspect, I think, is very difficult. Fighting it from a scientific aspect is very difficult. I think you just got to be in alignment with the Most High again. I don't like talking about that stuff too much, but yeah, be in alignment with the Most High, and I don't think you necessarily have to worry about stuff like that.
As you said, you're a minister, right?
Excuse me?
You said you're a minister.
Yeah, I'm a licensed minister in the state of California.
Um, what would you say is a way that someone could align with the Most High?
Hmm. Well, if you're Christian or Jewish or Muslim, any of those faiths, those are the ones I deal with, you stick with the laws. The laws, in the New Testament, saints, don't necessarily, they think the laws are abolished. Well, in Revelation, it still says those that keep the law and the Sabbath and all of that are coming up in here. So they're not really done away with. There is a rich ruler who asked Jesus, what do I do to get to heaven? Jesus said, what's your understanding of the law? He said, oh, you do this and that and the other. He said, okay, cool, you're not far, but also give away what you got because you're a little too rich. You know what I mean? Your ego is too great. You're not humble enough. You do the things in the law. So on the basis, try to keep the law. That's how you stay in alignment. That's what I mean. Try to see in alignment with the Most High or with the law or with what's set, the path set. Well, then it's easy after that.
The laws of
Uh,
the prophet, the laws of Moses, right?
Laws of Moses would entail for me. Um, some go by 42 laws of Ma'at. Those are very similar, if not the same. Um, you know, um, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Got you.
Those are ways to get in alignment, and pray, man. Humble yourself and pray. That is a practice, and it's not just a practice for you to connect with this with the outer true and living. It's the one where you're really acknowledging who you are to yourself. That's really to me what prayer is. I am talking to the Father, the Most High, but in that I'm confessing myself to Him. So in that I have to acknowledge myself. I have to acknowledge my flaw. I have to acknowledge my to myself first, and that's hard. Now, a lot of people, they pray and they don't really pray. Just God forgive me. Forgive you for what though?